yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. What's good? 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 Happy Tuesday evening. Happy Tuesday evening. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. What's good with y'all? What's good with y'all, man? How is it going? What's going on? Virgo Kid, Little G, June Boy, K Dub, Nate the Great, EXP Neo, Mr. Lakes, Notorious Zay. What's good? What is good? Over on Kick, Joseph, Lil G, ACAP for all, Hazard, Malone, Dolphin for Life, King Cat. How is it going? Let's cut off that goddamn purge horn. How is it going? I ain't fixing to be here for a very long time. This at maximum will be 45 minutes. But let me tell you something right now. This is something that came across my desk. And before I even looked into it, I said, you know what? I want to react to this on live. And this is going to be something that I want to do much more often. If I didn't have to go to the airport to go scoop somebody, I would have definitely stayed much longer and had a much longer extended conversation. Also, in the chat, y'all let me know if my left eye, if you see like right here, if this starts twitching, y'all let me know. Because for whatever reason, the past week and a half, this portion of my eye, I feel like there's an internal twitch. I don't know what's the catalyst for something like that. Not too sure. Also, I was going to play GTA today, but my voice completely shot. So I got arrested a bit. So I figured I'd do something that's not going to have me jumping and things of that nature. DRB said Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. I'm hoping that that happens for sure. Most likely it'll happen after the WWE draft, but it's just a matter of when that's going to go down. R. Ruben in the building. Yeah, King Cat, I had to come back with another stream. I'm trying to see if I could go live every single day up until the end of this month. And I want to have, like for the NBA playoffs, a streamathon situation going on. So I have to figure out how I want to go about that, how I want to do it, if it's going to be like 30 days straight, if I want to do the 12-hour streams, things of that nature. Just got to figure out how I want to do it, get that stuff situated and get that going. But without further ado, let's get it going. If you guys haven't seen this, I saw it come across my timeline on ESPN. And before I even went into it in depth, I only saw a couple of slides. So it is the top 50 WWE superstar. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me flip it so you guys can see it. I'm tripping. It is the top 50 greatest WWE superstars all-time ranking. Anybody familiar with this list? Anybody else seen this list? I'm just curious if you guys had seen this list. Jeff in the building. What's good, bro? Born fresh in the house. I'm just curious if y'all seen. Oh, y'all have not bet. So we fixing to go through this for the first time together. Let me make myself small over here. So let me move the Kick chat out the way. I'll put you. Oh, no, I just moved the YouTube chat. Yeah, I'll move the Kick chat over here. But overall, Joseph said no. I bet. So nobody had a chance to see it. Bet. All right. So we fixing to react in real time. Now, keep in mind, we're going to keep it short and sweet. Maximum 45 minutes. Let's see how Bleacher Report ranked it. But before we even go into it, we got to figure out what the criteria is. Because when we talk about top 50 wrestlers, right, they are specifically saying you're ranking the WWE superstars. So straight out the gate, I'm assuming this is solely based off of their WWE tenure and accomplishments within the business. I don't think they're taking into account what you do outside, despite the fact that WWE acquired both WCW and ECW and all of their history, I would highly doubt that any of that would be taken into account. Because if that's the case, then Ric Flair would be top 5. And from the slide that I saw on IG, he clearly was not. So let's just see what's going on over here. K Dub said, in Bleacher Report be on some bullshit a lot. Bold of you to assume Bleacher Report is gonna be in depth. Well, here's the thing, right? I already know that situations like this is gonna be ridiculous, but if you're gonna make a top 50 list, I figured, all right, I'll take a look at it. So they have who they these individuals here are the people who voted. So I don't know any of these guys or what their background is, but let's see here. Which styles is the name? If you walk through the company's the last 6 decades, whatever, what makes the top? Okay, cool. So this is where we would start here. Historical significance. Did they have a meaningful impact on the history of WWE? So if we're talking historical significance, so it's solely capsulated by what they did in the WWE. Okay, so there is that. Championships, were they amongst the most decorated? Okay, that's nice. Popularity, that's incredibly important because there's a lot of people who you would rank amongst the greatest, but when they made it to WWE, they weren't relatively popular. So that's very important as well. Just straight off the top of my head, somebody who wasn't particularly as popular in the WWE as they were elsewhere. You think about like the Four Radicals. You think about, well, not necessarily Lex Luger, because when Luger came over, he was good. You think about the Brain Busters with Tully and Arn when they came into the WWE. Although I think it was an injury that ended up derailing that 87 year or 88 when they had came into the WWF, whatever the case just so happened to be. But we will see there. Needle movers, that's important. Time active. Okay, so was the success sustained over a period of time or flash in the pan? Now that makes me wonder. That's going to be interesting. Pay-per-view appearances, were they fixtures and skills, in-ring, mic, and charisma? So this is going to be interesting. Oh, M. Manswell said, you seen the top 20. Okay, that's interesting. All right. Ghost Hall said, hey, you mean, what you mean you about to get banned again? I didn't even witness you get banned from Twitch the first time. Just got here. Hey, man, listen, when I got banned on Twitch the first time, we were watching Thursday Night Football because it was streaming on Twitch. So I figured, hey, let's watch, the game. I thought we could just broadcast, the NFL. Because evidently you could broadcast other people's Twitch streams. We were just exploring as I was started streaming for the first time on Twitch in October, and I ended up getting banned. So I can say I have a ban under my belt. It was only 1 week, but here we are. Let's get into it. You said you think Jeff Hardy is going to be in 25, so you'd assume like the top 25. Let's see. Let's scroll. They said the names on the list were ranked based solely on their accomplishments in WWE. For example, the majority of Ric Flair's 16 world titles were won away from the company and not taken into consideration when discovering defeats. Okay, so if that's the case, Dusty Rhodes cannot be on this list at all. Because if you take into account Dusty Rhodes inside the squared circle in WWE, there is no reason why this man should be on the list. So if that's the case, Big Show is number 50. Oh, I don't like this. He's a 2-time WWE champion, 2-time World Heavyweight champion, an ECW champion. So that's a 5-time world champion. Say what you want about ECW, it still was considered a world championship. How the fuck is Big Show 50? That is crazy. 8-time tag team champion, 3-time hardcore, that's not as important. Intercontinental and United States champion. He's a Grand Slam champion. How the fuck is Big Show? How is he number 50? That's crazy. That's crazy. You're telling me there's 49 other WWE stars that are better than Big Show? Keep in mind, I believe this is men and women, if I'm not mistaken. That's crazy. How the fuck is Big Show number 50? Okay, all right. So if Big Show's 50, then they got to be having like a Don Morocco or people from the WWF or things of that. How the fuck is Big Show showed up in 99, and from 99 to 2008, Big Show, say what you want about when they sent him to OVW and everything of that nature, Big Show was cooking. He was in a main event in WrestleMania 16. Say what you want about Big Show, but he was in the main event of WrestleMania. He was a world champion numerous times over. This is interesting. Okay, Big Show at number 50. All right. Lita at 49. Okay. So she's the lowest ranked woman on the list. Okay. Lita, who's a 4-time women's champion and a tag team champion with Becky Lynch, I believe last year, or the year prior, and also a Hall of Famer. At 49, Jesus Christ. So if Lita is 49, that would mean Alundra Blaze has to be in front of her. Trish, of course, all of the four horsewomen. Asuka would have to be. Okay, so if you want to have Lita at 49, because let's call it what it is. Trish Stratus, at the time of her retirement, I believe was the most popular woman in the history of WWE. Say what you want about Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young, but Lita was getting it from 19, or I should say from 2000 through 2001. For those of you guys who was fans of WWE, WWF through the Attitude Era, Lita was getting crowd pops damn near top 5 in the company. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. There's no denying. Austin was number 1. The Rock was number 2. You can have Undertaker. You could throw Taker in there for when he returned in 2000. And he was getting pops like crazy. 99, not so much with the Ministry of Darkness because he was heel. I don't want to use Michaels in the moments that he came back because it was more shocking surprise, whatever the case was. DX also had sensational pop, but Lita was getting pops. And I would argue Lita got much more of a crowd reaction than the actual Hardy Boys did. Those of y'all who came up during the Attitude Era, am I bullshitting? Am I bullshitting? The Hardy Boys, the crowd would go crazy for the Hardy Boys, but they would damn near go crazier for Lita. She was doing crazy shit, Ruben. That's a fact. Black Nerd said, oh, bullshit. No, China wasn't getting a bigger pop than Lita. She wasn't getting a bigger pop than Lita. Now, here's the thing. I would assume China would be on the list too, but the thing is, if they're taking into account longevity, China would have to be lower than Lita, in my opinion. So I would assume China's not on the list. So right now, we got Big Show at 50, Lita at 49. So we have the lowest ranked man, lowest ranked women. Let's see where we're moving from here. Vader at 40, get the fuck out of here. Vader's accomplishments in WWE is not better than Big Show. This list is bullshit. How the fuck is Big Van Vader higher than Big Show? What? Hall of Fame 2022, but he won no titles in WWE. He showed up in 96. What the hell? This makes no sense. They literally, let's scroll up. They literally said, they remember what they used to quantify. Take a look right here. It says, for example, they said the names on the list were ranked based solely on their accomplishments in WWE. The majority of Ric Flair's 16 world title reigns were won away from the company, and it won't be taken into consideration. So how the fuck does Vader, who showed up in 96 and left in what, 98 in a 3-year run, how is he higher than Big Show? That makes no sense. Big Show was in the WWE from 99 up until what? 2018? Actually 2020. What the fuck? How? Vader was in the company for like 3 years. When he dipped, he had to, I ain't nothing but a big piece of shit. Big fat piece of shit. And then he was gone. Vader didn't do shit in the WWE. You take into account what he did in Japan, you take into account what he did in WCW, then by all means, but they already said the criteria has all of that null and void. This doesn't make sense. And the first thing that they do is talk about his lengthy run in WCW. Hold on, wait, after several world titles with the promotion, he took his talents to McMahon Land, where he may not have done so successfully in the terms of championship, but he was legitimate main event talent, world title contender during his 3-year run. Yeah, exactly. It was 96, 97, 98. What the fuck? Wait, Dean Ambrose 40. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is fucking ridiculous. This is ridiculous. How is Vader ranked higher than Big Show if we're talking about WWE? How is Vader ranked higher than Lita? Okay. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. DJ B. Silly in the building. What's good? Dean Ambrose is number 47. He's a Triple Crown champion. WWE champion, which was a terrible reign, Intercontinental champion 3 times, a United States champion who had a very lengthy reign at that, good tag team champion while alongside the Shield, also won the Money in the Bank where he cashed in for WWE. I don't mind Dean Ambrose being this low because if you really take into account the peak of his success, it came alongside the Shield. So he's primarily in that first 2 years. Some can argue that he peaked because he went on the singles, run outside of working with his Shield brethren. It wasn't necessarily a lot of impact. I understand that, but I would definitely have Dean higher than Vader, but there's no way that I can say Dean Ambrose's WWE career. And they're not even counting NXT because there was really nothing that was too special there. I can't say that's better than Big Show. I can understand having him listed this low, but I can't say it's better than Big Show. This is confusing, bro. This is confusing. I don't like it. I don't like it. AJ Styles at 46? Oh my God. Who is on this list, bro? Who is on this list? AJ Styles is far too low. I know that when you take into account what he did in TNA and New Japan, of course you would have him ranked higher, but what he's been able to accomplish since 2016, I don't think 46 is the right location to have AJ Styles, bro. He's a 2-time WWE champion, Intercontinental and United States champion alongside Raw Tag Team champion. He is also a Triple Crown and a Grand Slam champion. He just has to get that SmackDown Tag Team title, but I believe as long as you have one Tag Team belt, you're a Grand Slam champion, if not Triple Crown. So one way or another, this is crazy. 46 is wild. No. I would not say AJ's top 20. I would say top 30 because there's a lot of guys. Keep in mind, you got to take into account WWF and also, I should say WWF, WWWF, and then also all of WWE when they shifted and got the F out. But I think he's far too low here. AJ Styles at 46 is crazy because not only was he champion for, I believe, over a year, it was like 371 days, right? How long was his reign? He had a championship for damn. Oh my God, Asuka's ranked higher than AJ Styles at 45. Oh no. And tell you the truth, I believe Asuka should be ranked appropriately on this list, but there's no way it's higher than AJ Styles. Asuka's well accomplished in the WWE, but I wouldn't put her higher than AJ Styles. Oh my God. Okay. All right. I would have Asuka amongst the top maybe 7. I would argue top 8 women in WWE history, but I don't think I'd put her in front of what AJ Styles has been able to accomplish. And both of them have somewhat of the same period of time in the company. I would have them close to each other, but it would not be this low. This is craziness. You think it's because the undefeated streak, but not over AJ? What are you referencing? Like AJ being, this is crazy. This is crazy. AJ Styles' popularity was there. He had one of the greatest Rumble debuts. How the fuck is he that low? Asuka, who is a 3 times women's champion, NXT women's champion, and undefeated there as well, multiple time women's tag team champion, won the women's Money in the Bank and the women's Royal Rumble. Every single thing that they have as it pertains to gold regarding women and all of the accolades, Asuka has crossed every single box. How the fuck is she ranked this low? I'm so confused, bro. I'm so confused. No, AJ Styles being a TNA champion doesn't matter. This is all about, and let me just quantify this for the new viewers who are coming in. We're reacting to the top 50 all-time WWE superstars according to Bleacher Report. Right now, this is the list. It is Big Show at number 50, Lita at 49, Vader at 48, which is ridiculous, Dean Ambrose at 47, AJ Styles 46, Asuka at 45. This is ridiculous. Big Show, Styles, and Asuka ranked entirely too low. Who do they have at 44? Kofi Kingston, okay. Kofi Kingston should be on this list. Now I'm very curious How? Oh my God, they have him at 44 because Kofi Kingston has been doing it for like. I wouldn't have him in the top 25. I argue I wouldn't have him in the top 30. I don't mind being at this particular location, but I can take Kofi over. I can take Kofi over Big Show. I can argue Kofi over Big Show, right? You can argue Kofi over Big Show just because of the sustained, success primarily as it pertains to the tag division. Because the New Day at one particular point was the hottest tag team in wrestling. No disrespect to the Big Show. Big Show at no point in his career in WWE was the hottest fixture in any particular kind of division. So I can't harp on that. However, I don't feel comfortable putting Kofi Kingston in front of AJ Styles. I don't. I would put Kofi in front of Ambrose. Kofi is also a Grand Slam champion as well. WWE champion, Intercontinental champion multiple times, US champion multiple times, a 14-time tag champion, if I'm not mistaken, the most in WWE history, and also an NXT tag champion. But Kofi at 44, I don't mind him being in the 40s. I just don't like him being in front of AJ Styles. But I understand, but this is interesting. You'd cry if Dirty Dom is... Nah, if Dirty Dom on the list, I'm cutting this shit off. I'm cutting this shit off. Kofi at 44, okay. Jeff Hardy at 43, all right. All right. Okay, so if Jeff Hardy's at 43, Matt Hardy's not on this list. Matt Hardy's not on this list. Jeff Hardy's a WWE champion, 2-time world heavyweight champion, intercontinental champion, European champion, United States champion, hardcore champion 3 times over, light heavyweight champion, 8-time tag team champion, WCW, or I should say 9-time tag team champion because that WCW tag team championship counts. This man is a Grand Slam champion, Triple Crown champion, was probably the #1 WWE guy in 2008. This man being at 43 is very interesting. I don't mind him being in front of any of the other individuals who's he's in front of. I think, in my opinion, this was the right ranking for Jeff Hardy. Here's a problem that I have, though. You have to take into account the tag team success of the Hardy Boys from 98 when they were part of the Brood up until 2002 when Jeff ended up going solo prior to being sent to rehab, and then all of his success on the solo portion. I don't mind with him being at this particular point, but I don't know if you could say there's 42 wrestlers in WWE that's better than Jeff Hardy, but we'll see. But I don't mind him being in front of everybody else. I don't mind seeing Jeff Hardy in front of an AJ Styles because when you take into account the peak popularity with Kofi Kingston, you can argue for in front of Styles with bulk shared WWE accomplishments. You could at least make an argument for that for either one. But Jeff Hardy, I have no issues with this one in particular, but that's going to be interesting. Charlotte Flair being #1 would be crazy. Miz has to be higher, I believe, as well. But, oh, my God, this is interesting. Rick Rude at 42. All right. All right, I'm not denying what Rick Rude was able to accomplish in the 80s in the WWF, but I can't put Rick Rude in front of Jeff Hardy. I can't put Rick Rude in front of AJ Styles. You can maybe, based on popularity, put him in front of Big Show, but his accomplishments pale in comparison to Big Show. Hell, it pales in comparison to fucking Dean Ambrose. I like Rick Rude, I do, but I can't put him in front of those brothers I'd only have him in front of Vader. The only dude I'd put Rick Rude in front of out of Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Vader, and Big Show, if you guys didn't see where Big Show's at, I'd only have him in front of Vader. That's incredible. And I love Rick Rude, I do. But I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh my God. If they started with Rick Rude at 50 or at 48, I don't mind that. But 42, oh, Lord. Okay. All right. And he only had 1 Intercontinental Championship, and then he inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm hoping the Honky Tonk Man's not on this list then. This is great. Sasha Banks at 41. Sasha Banks is at 41. She's the 3rd lowest ranked woman on the top 50. This is crazy. You can argue of the four horsewomen, Sasha Banks maybe has the best matches amongst all of them. How the what? NXT champion, five-time Raw Women's champion, albeit all of her Raw tag, or I should say Raw championship runs, with the exception of, I believe, the last one had been incredibly short in a hot potato pass between herself and Charlotte Flair. But how is Sasha Banks 41? Main evented a WrestleMania. How is she 41? Nah, I don't understand this. Superstar Billy Graham is 40. All right. Billy Graham, through the 70s and early 80s in the WWF, was an absolute draw. He was a dog. I understand. I do. I have no issues with Superstar Billy Graham. The newer age fans may not know how good that Superstar Billy Graham just so happened to have been throughout his time. He had a very long, lengthy reign, I believe near year. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 296 days. Very, 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 very great run as champion. And if you guys don't recall, the story that Cody Rhodes has just completed at WrestleMania 40 out in Philly happened because when Dusty Rhodes beat Superstar Billy Graham, the call was overturned. And Billy Graham was a star, he was a draw, and he was indeed the champion. I have no issues with having him ranked at 40, but I am still flustered that Sasha Banks is 41. That's crazy. I don't mind Superstar Billy Graham being at 40. It just bothers me that Sasha Banks is at 41. That is interesting. All right. Okay. So Rob Van Dam at 39. I don't. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my Lord. Rob Van Dam at 39. Rob Van Dam's popularity is without question. When you think ECW, Rob Van Dam is one of the top three that come to mind, but we're not talking about ECW because this is all of the accomplishments within WWE. He is indeed a WWE champion. He is an ECW champion. In fact, he held both those titles simultaneously after he had cashed in at ECW One Night Stand 2006 after winning the Money in the Bank in 2006 as well. European champion, multiple-time hardcore champion, intercontinental champion 6 times, a tag team champion 3 times, and a Hall of Famer 3 years ago. I don't mind Rob Van Dam being at 39. However, I would be lying if I said I would put RVD in front of Jeff Hardy. I think, me personally, I would have Jeff Hardy in front of RVD. If you swap RVD and Jeff Hardy, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I wouldn't have a problem with that. RVD was on absolute fire. He was a dog. But when he left the company and then came back, what was it, 2014? It was far too long of I don't want to say far too long of a gap. But when I look at the impact of RVD in WWF, WWE from 2001 to 2006, I believe, is when he ended up leaving, and then returning back way later. I don't know if I'd take RVD over Jeff Hardy. I don't know. What do y'all think? This is crazy. Owen Hart at 38. Okay. All right. Owen Hart 38. I don't mind that. European champion, 2-time Intercontinental champion, 4-time tag team champion, and a King of the Ring in 94. I don't mind Owen Hart being at 38. Owen Hart was incredibly popular during his time, one of the greatest in-ring talents that WWE has ever seen. Incredibly charismatic at that. I have no issues regarding Owen Hart, and may he rest in peace as well. And yes, Moon Fixer, I agree. The amount of insane things that Jeff did in his match, because when you take into account how much of a daredevil RVD was, Jeff took it to a whole other level. That's why I'd say Jeff has to be higher than RVD. I think they should swap those. But Owen Hart at 38, I don't mind that. I'm not going to argue about that. Mr. Perfect at 37. Ah, Lord. Okay. All right. Mr. Perfect should be on this list. Mr. Perfect should be on this list, but I cannot have Mr. Perfect higher than Jeff. Mr. Perfect was a better wrestler than Jeff, without question, but I don't think he was as popular as Jeff and things of that nature. But Mr. Perfect's run in WWF was indeed legendary. He was one of the greatest intercontinental champions of all time, bona fide Hall of Famer, passed very untimely. But I don't think I'd put Mr. Perfect in front of Jeff. I'm not even gonna lie to you. In fact, God, he doesn't have the accomplishments that Kofi Kingston has. I can argue for Mr. Perfect being in front of AJ Styles, but I can also argue for AJ Styles being in front of Mr. Perfect. I don't mind Mr. Perfect being in front of Big Show. But, oh my God. Yeah. Okay, we'll see. We'll see from here. Mr. Perfect at 37. Mr. Perfect. Batista at 36. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Snakey at Tag just subscribed to the Chiseled Adonis.
Okay. Oh my God. There's no way. There's no way there's 35 wrestlers that are better in their WWE tender than the Batista. Batista was top babyface through the years of 2005 all the way through 2008. There's no way Batista, are you kidding me? Two-time world WWE champion, four-time world heavyweight champion, four-time tag team champion, and a two-time Royal Rumble winner. Say what you want about Batista and all that other stuff. I agree. Batista should be ranked higher than everybody who's before him on this list, but this is entirely too low. Batista cannot be at 36. Batista has to be top 25. This is crazy. This is crazy. What? Who's 35? Ultimate Warrior higher than Batista. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? Stop it. Stop it. Ultimate Warrior is not higher than, oh my God. Are you serious? That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Oh my God. No. Ultimate, are you kidding me? Ultimate Warrior was popular during his time. I'll give you that. But he is not. Oh my God, no. Stop it. Oh, hell no. Ultimate Warrior is not better than Batista when you take into account all in-ring accomplishments, popularity, in-ring, and mic skill. Ultimate Warrior couldn't talk. Ultimate Warrior couldn't wrestle. Are you kidding me? I'll give you Hulk Hogan, but Ultimate Warrior, are you out of your mind? The fuck out of here. WWE champion, two-time Intercontinental champion, main eventer in WrestleMania, Hall of Famer at that. One of the greatest speeches at the conclusion of, pardon my volume, but one of the greatest speeches at the Raw after Mania, whatever the case just so happened to be. But Ultimate Warrior is not high, he is not better than Batista in his WWE career. I wouldn't have him ranked higher than Mr. Perfect. I wouldn't put him over Owen Hart. I wouldn't have him over Rob Van Dam, Superstar Billy Graham, Sasha Banks. I would have him in front of Rick Rude. I'll put him in front of Rick Rude. Not better than Jeff Hardy. Not better than Kofi Kingston. Not better than Asuka. AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose. I'd probably put him in front of Vader. Not better than Lita. Not better than fucking Big Show. You've got to be kidding me. Ultimate Warrior should be at max 45. Depending on who you put on the goddamn list. Ultimate Warrior being ranked higher than Batista is a fucking joke. That's crazy, bro. I can't take this list seriously. I already was struggling from before, but this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The audio back good? I think when I stood up, it fucking lowered the goddamn volume. We good? We good? Are we good? This is craziness, bro. You've got to be kidding me. This is craziness. Okay. All right. 35. Steamboat is at 34. Okay. I have no issues with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat being ranked higher than Ultimate Warrior for sure, but I can't put the Dragon Steamboat in front of Batista. That's crazy. Although he had one of the greatest Mania matches of all time with Randy Savage at WrestleMania 3, he's one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time. He had a magnificent match alongside two other Hall of Famers, Jimmy Fly Snuka, and I believe it was Roddy Piper against Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 25 when he was, I think, 61. But Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, despite all of that, I would not have him higher than AJ Styles. I would not have him higher than Kofi Kingston, Jeff Hardy, and of course, Batista. I think that's crazy. I'd put him in front of superstar Billy Graham, arguably, because his popularity amongst the kids as a true babyface was incredible throughout the 80s, but I do not know if I would put him in front of Batista. I think that's crazy. Definitely in front of Ultimate Warrior, but come on now. Come on now. What are we doing? Booker T at 33. All right. King Booker is one of the greatest runs ever in the history of WWE as a world heavyweight champion. King Booker, in my opinion, is the greatest King of the Ring to have ever won and carried the crown. Say what you want about Brett. Say what you want about Austin. Say what you want about Triple H. Say what you want about William Regal, Sheamus, King Barrett, whoever you want to throw out there who won the King of the Ring. I don't think there is a single King of the Ring who embodied the role as the king like Booker T. Then you take into account what he's done in the tag team division, whether he was alongside Goldust, whether he was alongside anybody else. He made the best of every single appearance. He was a fixture of SmackDown when he was champion. I don't mind Booker T being ranked this high, but I would not put him in front of Batista. I'll tell you that right now. I love Booker T being ranked here. I just would not have him in front of Batista. I'd put him in front of everybody else, but I cannot put him in front of Batista. I think that's unfair. I don't think that's right. Batista was a box office star, all of this other stuff. Right now, that's the biggest thing that I'm salty about is Batista being ranked at fucking 36. I think that's crazy. But Booker T, WCW champion, that doesn't necessarily apply here. World heavyweight champion, multiple tag team champion, Intercontinental, United States champion 3 times, hardcore champion, King of the Ring in 2006, and then a 2-time Hall of Famer. One for his work in the WWE individually, then of course alongside Harlem Heat. But no bread, no water, just meat. Now let me tell you something right now. If Chris Masters is at 27, that'd be crazy. Jake the Snake Roberts at 32. I love Jake the Snake Roberts. I believe, in my opinion, he's top 5 all time on the mic, depending if you're just talking about solely as mic skills. I was actually discussing this with Sis Adonis and the resident Hobbit, Marvin Francois, while at WrestleMania this past weekend when I was talking about who my top 3 mic guys all time was, based on somewhat of the same criterias. When you talk about popularity, when you talk about promo style, being able to do any single one, when you talk about notoriety, when we look at accomplishments, ability to be in the main event, these are my 3 in-ring competitors, not counting any of the managers. It is number 1. I believe CM Punk is the number 1 mic guy to have ever done it. John Cena, Ric Flair. Those 3 individuals are the greatest mic guys in the history of the business. No disrespect to Roddy Piper. No disrespect to Arn Anderson. No disrespect to The Rock, Stone Cold, anything of that nature. But when you take into account the world champion scene, when you take into account the ability to have a promo with anybody and not get obliterated, they all can be humorous. They all can be serious. They all can have aggression. They all can mesh with anywhere. I think those 3 are the best promo guys in the history of the business. You can argue for a ton of other people. That's my 3. I'm not going to disrespect the history of wrestling or who else you want to have inside the list, but those are my 3. But this is great. Jake the Snake at 32, and he never held a title in WWE. I think that's crazy. I can't have him ranked higher than Batista. I can't do that. I can't do that. Kane is 31. Okay. Kane is a multiple-time world champion, multiple-time tag team champion, multiple-time. He will be depending on if they put the Brothers of Destruction into the Hall of Fame, but one of the greatest Royal Rumble competitors and everything of that nature. Kane at 31, I don't like it. Jake the Snake didn't need to yell in a promo like the others. He spoke and people listened. He did not need a catchphrase when he spoke. Yeah, I agree. When he's one of, in my opinion, if you look at top 5 mic guys without having to take into account accomplishment, and it's just a matter of being on the mic, Jake the Snake's right there with me. Because I would have Arn, Jake the Snake, that'd round out my 5. And then I'd have Rock at 6. A lot of people believe he's probably the greatest mic guy, all that other stuff. But I'd even throw in Piper at 6 and argue because it's very close when you take a look at the top 10 all time. People will look at it and be like, yo, if you got Stone Cold at number 10, that's fucking crazy. That's disrespect. But when you take into account how good these guys were on the mic, Dusty Rhodes got to be in that conversation. It's a ton of different things. But Kane at 31, I don't mind it. But my God, I can't put Kane in front of Batista. I just can't. From 98 to 2001, Kane could have been a main event guy. 2003, you can make arguments that Kane probably could have had that once he took off the mask. But outside of that, he was just a mid-Carter kind of situation. But, oh boy, okay, all right. And I think his work as Isaac Yankem would definitely drop it. But we're only talking about him as Kane, so there's that. 31. Razor Ramon at 30. Okay. Popularity's definitely there for sure. 4-time Intercontinental Champion, Hall of Famer. But Razor Ramon's run in the WWE was not better than Batista. You have to take into account Razor Ramon, his work as Scott Hall himself in WCW. But this list does not take into account what you did outside the WWE, WWF. So Razor Ramon can't be ranked higher than Batista, who main evented WrestleManias. Can't be ranked higher than Batista, who was a world champion, who was a clear-cut babyface selling merch out the wazoo. You can't have him higher than Batista. I don't like it. In fact, I wouldn't even put Razor Ramon in front of Kane or Jeff Hardy. May he rest in peace. Scott Hall, if you say all of his stuff throughout all of his companies, then okay. But I can't put Razor Ramon, the WWF talent, in front of that, brother. No. Trish Stratus is 29. Okay, so you're telling me Lita, Asuka, Banks, Stratus. Who the fuck else? What other women you have in front of? 7-time women's champion. She was also a hardcore champion and inducted into the Hall of Fame. Trish Stratus, at the time she retired, I think we all unequivocally had her as the greatest women's superstar of all time at the time of her retirement. I think it is absolutely ludicrous to have Trish Stratus at 29. There is no way Trish Stratus is not top 25. But I guess there's a bit of recency bias because I do believe that she wasn't the best in the ring, but she retired the greatest of all time. Of course, there are individuals who had since passed her by, but I don't know. Still, I would not have Trish Stratus in front of Batista. I'm sorry. This Batista ranking is by far the worst. China at 28, the fuck out of here! There's no way, bro. And I love China, but let's call it what it was. China's matches were bona fide stinkers. She was the ninth wonder of the world because her physique and her ambiance, her aura was absolute magnificent. Her alongside the original DX, magnificent work. When she went on her own, 2001, China's run was incredibly short, and then she was pretty much out the company. You have China for 4 years. Pardon me, 5. 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. That's 5 years. China in WWF, despite her popularity, despite her being a part of DX, she is not supposed to be ranked higher than Trish Stratus. She is not supposed to be higher than Sasha Banks. She should not be ranked higher than Lita, and she definitely should not be ranked higher than Asuka. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. How the fuck does China get ranked higher than Trish Stratus? That makes no sense. China is also, she did work with the men. I'll give her that. She did work with the men, things of that nature. But China's accomplishments are not better than Trish Stratus. That is crazy. She went in as a Hall of Famer alongside DX. She was a women's world champion. She won her first one ever at WrestleMania 17 when she beat Ivory. And then she was a two-time Intercontinental Champion. Magnificent work alongside Eddie Guerrero as the Mamacita. She had great matches with Chris Jericho. Good angles right there, but she is not better than Trish Stratus. I don't like it. Charlotte Flair at 27. 27. Oh, my God. Charlotte Flair's accomplishments alone would now have to put her inside the top 20. And you can argue top 15, but Charlotte Flair being ranked at 27, so I would assume Bayley's not on this list because I think although we feel as if Charlotte Flair had been benefited, you know, she benefited from the last name, she benefited from constantly being put in the title picture, we can't deny after Charlotte became Divas Champion, after that first 18 months on the main roster, she took a step away from being Ric Flair's daughter and became a made woman. Because Charlotte, on television, when she had Dana Brooke beside her as her lackey, from that point all the way up until now, Charlotte, I believe, was top one, if not two, woman in the company consistently. Say what you want about favoritism and all of that other shit. Charlotte solidified herself as one of the greatest women's heels of all time. Furthermore, put on banger after banger whenever she had an opportunity to be over there in the match. I completely understand the frustration behind her constantly being world champion, damn near trying to force her to break Ric Flair's record. But she, in the ring, of all of the women, with the exception of Asuka and Sasha Banks, in my opinion, she is the best outside of those two who we seen thus far on the list. 27 makes me very concerned. Becky Lynch, if you want to rank her higher because of popularity and also winning in the main event, then by all means. But this would mean that Bayley's not on the list because I think we can all agree that Charlotte Flair is better than Bayley just based off of their careers alone in WWE. No disrespect to Big Booty Bayley, I love her, but there's no way she's ranked higher than Charlotte Flair. This is confusing. Charlotte Flair, a 13-time world champion. I know they're going to count, you know, the NXT championships. That will make it 15, but I'm not going to go in that particular direction. But a 13-time world champion, 14-time world champion, because they're going to count that Divas championship as well. Tag team champion, also a Royal Rumble winner. This is crazy. This is crazy. Charlotte at 27, Seth Rollins at 26. Oh, my God. Seth Rollins at 26, Grand Slam champion, two-time WWE champion, world heavyweight champion, two-time Universal champion, Intercontinental champion twice, United States champion twice, six-time tag team champion, Money in the Bank winner, greatest Money in the Bank cash-in all-time, and a Royal Rumble winner. There's no fucking way Seth Rollins is not top 25. I don't understand, bro. Edge is 25. Okay. Of everybody on the list, I'm comfortable with Edge being over here. I think unequivocally, everybody, I can say Edge's accomplishments in WWE supersedes everybody who came before him. I would put Edge and Seth Rollins are the two people that I would put in, actually, yes, and Charlotte Flair are the three people I would put in front of Batista, but everybody else should not be in front of Batista. I have no issue with Edge being in front of Seth Rollins, but the fact that he's at 25 makes no sense. An 11-time world champion, 5-time Intercontinental, 14-time tag team champion, United States champion, King of the Ring, Money in the Bank winner, Money in the Bank cash-in individual on 2 different occasions, and won 2 Royal Rumbles multiple times in the main event. This is ridiculous. Ric Flair is 24. This doesn't make any sense. Ric Flair's accomplishments in WWE does not put him in front of Edge, in front of Batista, in front of any of those guys. Yes, he did win in arguably the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. Me personally, I have Royal Rumble 2001 in front of 92, but a lot of people would have 92 at number 1, and I'm not going to argue with you. I believe that's warranted if you'd like. I have 92 as number 2. But Ric Flair never main evented in a WrestleMania. Ric Flair, or did he, in WrestleMania 8? Who was the main event in WrestleMania 8? I know, I think it was him and Randy Savage. But whatever the case was, you take into account those 2 years in WWF. Then he goes back to WCW. After he comes back in 2002, his run from 2002 up until 2008, when he was in ring, he had some good matches. His World Heavyweight Championship against Triple H, his match at WrestleMania against The Undertaker, his match at WrestleMania against Shawn Michaels, some classic moments, but he is not in front of Batista. He's not in front of his daughter. He's not in front of Edge. He's not in front of freaking Seth Rollins. That is crazy. 24 for Ric Flair, based solely off of his WWE accomplishments, is criminal. That's ridiculous. Oh my God, bro. Because remember, they're not counting what you do outside of WWE. How the fuck is Ric Flair 24? Oh my God. NWA Rick would be in the top 5. But they're only counting what you did in WWE. Ric Flair, oh my God, no, you can't do this. Becky Lynch is 23. So how is Becky Lynch in front of, how is she behind? So Bayley's not on the list then. Bayley's not on the list then. If you have Becky ranked as the highest 4 horsewomen because she's indeed a main eventer and things of that nature, multiple time women's champion, I believe 7, because NXT counts as a world champion despite the fact that I don't count it. And she's also a Grand Slam champion at that, won the Rumble and main evented, the very first woman to win in the main event. I was actually there present. If you want to have her ranked as the highest 4 horsewomen, then by all means. But I don't understand. At 23, who's at 22? Daniel Bryan. Oh, popularity, yes. In-ring ability, yes. Mic work, yes. Daniel Bryan had 2 magnificent runs. I can't deny how good Bryan is. 22 is interesting. Triple H isn't in the top 20. You can't name me 20 wrestlers better than Triple H career-wise in the WWE. How the fuck is Triple H 21? This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. If you look at the history of WWE, Vince McMahon's character aside, redacted character aside, in-ring talent, JBL's heel work, sensational. Vicky Guerrero was an in-ring competitor. Triple H might be the greatest heel in WWE history because he has longevity as a heel in 3 different decades. Triple H might be the greatest heel in WWE history. I'm not talking about wrestling history. I'm talking about WWE history. How the fuck is Triple H 21? I don't understand it. CM Punk is 20. CM Punk's career in WWE is not better than Triple H. You've got to be kidding me. Summer of Punk was magnificent, but call it what it was. Before 2011, CM Punk was not better than a bulk share of the people who just so happen to be on the fucking list. You've got to be kidding me. I completely respect Punk. I say he's the best promo guy in the history of the business. But CM Punk is not, oh my God. He does not have a better WWE career than Triple H. That's ridiculous. Who's 19? Randy Orton's 19. Oh my God. I have to relax. I'm gonna lose my voice, bro. I'm gonna lose my voice. I don't even want to go in depth, bro. I'm just gonna scroll, bro. Randy Orton's number 19. Eddie Guerrero 18. Okay. Okay. This is a sentimental spot here. I love Eddie. May he rest in peace. But Eddie Guerrero's WWE career from 2000 up until his death in 2005. Keep in mind, 2001 up until early 2002, he was out of the company inside of rehab. Eddie Guerrero, then Los Guerreros, then going into becoming WWE champion. He is incredibly charismatic, magnificent fucking career. But I'm sorry, Eddie Guerrero's career is not better than Randy Orton. It is not better than Triple H. It is not better than, I would argue, Batista. Because it's not just a flash in the pan or whatever the case was. Eddie had 5 years. Come on. Brock Lesnar 17? Okay. All right. All right. All right. Now I'm getting pissed off. Chris Jericho 16. I don't mind Chris Jericho being ranked this high, but how the fuck is Chris Jericho's WWE career in front of Randy Orton and Triple H? This doesn't make sense. Randy Orton and Triple H's careers are top 10 unequivocally. There should be no fucking conversation. I would argue Daniel Bryan is in the top 10 based off what he did in the 2010s. This is ridiculous. Chris Jericho's career in WWE should be in the top. Who are the 15 people on this list? The only people who come to mind is Hulk Hogan. You can argue for Randy Savage, Stone Cold, The Rock, John Cena, Undertaker. Who else? Who else? Mick Foley, the fuck out of here. I love Mick Foley. His career in WWE is not better than Randy Orton, then Triple H, then Chris Jericho. Stop it. Stop it. He was amongst one of the greatest baby faces of all time. His heel work as Mankind early with his rivalry with The Undertaker was great. When he showed up in 98 Royal Rumble as Dude Love, as Cactus Jack, as Mankind, it was magnificent. But you've got to be kidding me. Mick Foley's WWE career is not ranked higher than Triple H or Randy Orton. Randy Orton and Triple H is getting hoed right now big time. And I would still argue for Chris Jericho being hoed as well. And he shouldn't be higher than Daniel Bryan. Oh my God, no. No. Who's for Andre the Giant? Okay. Okay, you want to have Andre at 14? I don't mind that, but I wouldn't put Andre as a spectacle through the 70s and 80s. By all means, I understand. I'm not going to argue with that. For those now, if we're talking about in-ring capacity and his ability over there, he could wrestle. But when you take into account what he's done in his career, he is indeed, I believe the 8th wonder of the world. He is indeed an icon. I have no issue with that, based off everything. But I still don't understand how the fuck you have Triple H and Randy Orton behind. Oh my God. I don't mind Andre. I don't mind Andre because you have to take into account it's not just in-ring ability. It's mic skill, it's popularity, it's notoriety, all these other stuff. Andre was larger than life, so I don't mind that. But I just can't understand how Mick Foley is ranked higher than Randy Orton and Triple H. Oh my God. How is Triple H not in the top 20? Brock Lesnar, I understand being ranked higher than a couple of people, but oh my God, because Brock Lesnar brought a whole lot of realism. But Eddie being that high is crazy to me, bro, because it was a 5-year run. Oh my, Roman Reigns at 13! Roman! There's no way. Okay. I've been live for an hour. I already went 15 minutes over. Let's just breeze through this son bitch because I'm going to lose my Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio's ranked higher than Triple H. Rey Mysterio's ranked higher than Randy Orton. I think Rey Mysterio can be top 25 based off his popularity. But Rey Mysterio's WWE career does not put him as the 12th greatest of all time. Who's number 11? Kurt Angle is number 11. I don't mind Kurt being this high. Because Kurt Angle's one of the most charismatic guys of all time. Kurt Angle had the greatest rookie year in the history of the WWE. Kurt Angle is a Grand Slam champion. Kurt Angle, if I'm not mistaken, retired holding every belt in the company. No. I believe Chris Jericho had held every single belt in the company, with the exception of the women's. But Kurt Angle's run from 2000 to 2006. From 99 to 2006 was a absolute roller coaster ride of great in-ring ability, magnificent mic ability, charisma was magnificent, bona fide main eventer. I don't have an issue with Kurt Angle being ranked this high, but I don't know if I could put Kurt Angle in front of Randy Orton in WWE history. I don't know if I could put Kurt Angle in front of Triple H in WWE history. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. Would I put him in front of Chris Jericho? I would say yes. I think the only people that I would not put Kurt Angle in front of is Randy and Triple H. You can make an argument for Roman Reigns because after he left the Shield, they kept trying to force feed Roman down to people's throat. But you take into account what Roman's work with the bloodline was, you can't discount that, because let's take a look right here. This was published. When was this published? This had to be, April 3rd. This is after the whole run. There's no way. Oh my God. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Let's see the top 10. Let's see the top 10. Who's at 10? Hulk Hogan's number 10. Okay. You talk about the wrestler of the 80s for WWE, the most popular wrestler until Austin took the mantle in the history of wrestling. He put WWF, for all intents and purposes, made it mainstream. Hulk Hogan at number 10. I don't mind that. I think of everybody's WWE careers, you can make an argument because Hogan can be there, but Hogan being at 10 makes me very concerned for who's in front. Who's at number 9? Piper in front of Hogan is crazy. Piper on the mic was better than Hogan was, better in the ring. Popularity, you talk about one of the greatest heels of all time. I don't know if I could put Piper in front of Hulk Hogan, though, because when you think wrestling of the 80s, Hulk Hogan comes to mind first, not Roddy Piper. Piper would come out probably second or third if you want to throw in Andre or Randy Savage. Now this makes me wonder where Randy Savage is. I don't mind Piper being ranked up there, but I would not put Roddy Piper's career in WWF over Kurt Angle. I don't think I would put it over Triple H or Randy Orton, just based off of longevity inside of the company. Without question, Roddy Piper is top 15 in my opinion. You can make arguments for him being where he has to be, but I don't think I could put him over Hulk Hogan just based off of all encompassing with popularity, with match quality. I would take Roddy Piper. On the mic, I would take Roddy Piper, but the popularity and the mainstream box office that Hulk Hogan was, I don't think I could take that behind Roddy Piper. And I like Piper more than I like Hogan. But remember what they're taking this list requirements is. But at the same time, given how they have all of the guys on the list, it's bullshit if you ask me. This is wild. This is wild. Oh, good Lord. This is absolutely wild. Okay. Who's 8? Shawn Michaels at 8. Okay, I don't mind Shawn Michaels being in front of everybody here. Everybody else who's there, I don't mind Shawn Michaels being there. We're talking about the greatest in-ring performer of all time, Shawn Michaels at 8. The Rock is at 7. Rock in front of Michaels, I don't know. I can argue for either one, but The Rock and Shawn Michaels, you can put either or. I don't mind that. Rock's WWE career was one of the most popular all time. You talk about great matches. impeccable mic skills. I believe he was better on the mic than Shawn Michaels was. I don't mind The Rock being ranked this high. I agree. Bruno Sammartino, longest reigning champion all time. I don't mind that. He carried the WWF in the 70s and 60s. I don't mind that. At all. John Cena's 5. Okay, so I would assume Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Randy Savage. Who else would be left? Who's the other person that you would have in front of him? Austin. Who else? Stone Cold. Stone Cold is Austin. Triple H. Oh, Bret Hart. And then Undertaker. That has to round out the 5. Undertaker at 4. Okay, cornerstone of WWE. Randy Savage at 3. I personally, I don't know if I'd have Randy Savage at 3. But he can go in the ring. He was great. On the mic, he was a spectacle to go and see. I don't mind that. Stone Cold at 2, so that would mean number 1 is Bret Hart. Bret Hart, consummate professional. I personally would have Stone Cold at 1, but Bret Hart, I believe, had a longer run than Steve Austin did. Now, this right here, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Taker, Cena in the top 4. I like that. Me personally, I would have had Randy Savage a little bit lower. I would argue he would be right behind Michaels. I don't like the fact that Triple H and Randy Orton weren't up here, but this top 10 is very solid. But I don't know about some of these other rankings that they had over here. This is, in my opinion, terrible list through and through. Because keep in mind, this is what the criteria was. Historical significance, championships, popularity, needle mover, time active, working, pay-per-view appearances, and their skills, in-ring, mic, and charisma. There's just some guys who are ranked this high that just does not make sense. Because no disrespect to Mick Foley, he is top 30 all time. I cannot put Mick Foley in front of Chris Jericho. I can't put his WWE career in front of Brock Lesnar. I can't put him in front of Randy Orton or Triple H. It's oh my God. This is, and to have Batista at 36 behind Ultimate Warrior is fucking crazy. Man, let me tell you something. This is why I don't be looking at these lists, bro. This is why I don't look at these lists, bro. That's crazy. But Bret Hart being number 1, I don't mind that. But this is wild. Can I make my own top 25? Maybe that's an assignment to come back and do that. But this is just wild to me, man. That's just wild to me. Crazy list. But I gotta run to the airport because it's been 70 minutes when I was supposed to go live for fucking 45. But overall, we're gonna cut this up. We're gonna actually go back and maybe, you know what? Tomorrow, when I go live, prior to going prior to going onto the Discord pod for the Plain Possum podcast, I might go live and come up with my own top 25. I might just come up with my own top 25 for tomorrow. But this right here is something. I don't mind Bret and Austin taking the 1 and 2 spot, but I just can't understand how Ultimate Warrior is ranked in front of Batista. Big Show is at 50, but Vader is at 48. That makes no sense. Vader had a 3. He shouldn't even be on the list. Bayley doesn't make this list. Bayley in WWE was better than Vader. Y'all have yourselves a good night, man. Go to YouTube, go check out the latest video. But I can't do it, bro. They had fucking Randy Orton and Triple H behind Mick Foley. You know, whoever wrote that list, this is all I got to say to you. That's who we need to call for y'all dumbasses. Fucking ridiculous. Oh, actually, you know what? You right. Where's my Liv Morgan? Oh, no, actually, no, I think I
Are you looking for some wood?
There you go. I know there was a lot of noise that was happening, but there's the Liv Morgan clip that y'all was looking for. I'm out of here.